So if you're below the water table, there's obviously going to be a lot of water incoming into site. So you have to set up dewatering so you can get rid of that water so you can do a proper preparation for the basement slab. Other factors to consider would be retention. So obviously if you've got a site retention around the job, you might have, there's different ways to do that, but one of the most common that we use would be a soldier pile retention system. As you're digging down to prepare for your basement, do the piles from at the top level, and as you start digging down is doing your anchoring system of those piles back into the earth below to make sure that you can safely dig that basement out without any risk of any movement of the upper level soils around the outside of the job. And so once you get down to your level and you've taken care of the water, and then you can start preparing the slab. And so with that, once you're down at the founding level, obviously you're going to make sure you've got proper bearing capacity, and you do that by testing as you go, and that might mean you have to dig your foundation slightly bigger, or you might have to go a bit deeper until you reach the necessary bearing capacity. And once you've done that, then you can pour your slab and you can start coming back up again. Some other challenges you might face if it's adjacent to a building close by and you're going deeper than their retention or than their basement, you might have to do some underpinning, which is basically effectively propping up the underside of their foundations as you go down so that there's no risk of the adjacent building of being compromised at all. You might, as you're digging down, you might actually hit some contaminated soil and you'll have to treat that and dispose of that properly. So you have to do soil tests as you go as well. Also, your different piling methods to get there in the first place, whether you need to use an open board method or a CFA pile, or you might just have other methods of retaining the site or providing your foundations for the building. You want to do as much testing as you can, and one of the most obvious ones to do down as you're digging your basement out is to do proof digging beforehand. And so with the proof digging, you can identify a lot of these risks early enough so you can address them as you're still digging as well. And so that gives you a bit of time just to identify them and get on top of them early.